Welcome to a deep dive into the world of Dzogchen. We're continuing to explore some of Keith Dowman's writings, and you know what I find fascinating?
What's that?
It's how Dzogchen, flips the script on typical Buddhist thought.
It really does.
Yeah.
Um, Most spiritual traditions, including a lot of schools of Buddhism, they really emphasize, striving and working toward enlightenment as a future goal.
Right.
Dzogchen says, nope, you're already perfect.
Yeah.
The goal isn't to become enlightened, but to recognize that enlightenment that's already inherent in your mind.
Yeah, that's a pretty radical shift in perspective.
It is.
So instead of adding more practices or beliefs, it's about stripping away what's obscuring that inherent perfection.
Precisely. Dowman calls Dzogchen the climax of Tibetan Buddhist thought because it cuts through all the complexities and gets straight to the heart of the matter. Your true nature is pure awareness, and that awareness is already enlightened.
So it's like Dzogchen is saying, stop trying so hard. You're
Yeah.
already there. But if that's the case, what does that mean for practice? Is there even such a thing as doing Dzogchen?
That's where it gets even more interesting.
Okay.
You see, in Dzogchen, there's no meditation or structured practice in the traditional sense.
Right.
It's not about adding anything to your experience, but rather removing the veils that prevent you from seeing your true nature.
So it's not about doing, it's
Yes.
about being.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Dowman uses the term non-action to describe this.
Mm-hmm.
It's about letting go of the striving,
Yeah.
the grasping, the constant need to fix or improve ourselves.
Right.
It's about surrendering to the present moment and allowing our true nature to shine through.
That sounds incredibly liberating,
It is.
but also a bit challenging.
Oh, yeah.
How do you just let go like that, especially in our busy, goal-oriented world?
It's definitely a practice,
Yeah.
but not in the way we usually think of it.
Okay.
Remember those excerpts you shared? What stood out to you most about Dowman's approach?
Honestly, it was the story of Drukpa Kunli, the divine madman of Tibetan Buddhism.
Ah, yes.
He sounds like quite a character.
Oh, he was. Dowman uses Drukpa Queenly as a prime example of Tanagana, the unconventional actions of enlightened beings.
Yeah.
Now, Drukpa Kunli was known for shocking behavior,
Yeah.
singing lewd songs, challenging social norms, even having sex with women to supposedly liberate them from their attachments.
Sounds like you would have been invited to many dinner parties.
Probably not. But here's the key.
Okay.
Dzogchen suggests that these seemingly outrageous acts are actually skillful means
Okay.
to jolt people out of their rigid perceptions and awaken them to their true nature.
So it's like he was a Zen master, but instead of using konens, he used his whole life as a teaching tool.
Exactly. Now, Dowman emphasizes that Tanagana is a complex concept.
Right.
And not for everyone.
Yeah.
It requires a deep understanding of the Dzogchen view to be practiced ethically and skillfully.
So not all shocking behavior is tanagana. There's more to it than just being outrageous.
Absolutely. It's not about indulging in selfish desires or rejecting morality.
Right.
It's about disrupting our habitual patterns of thinking, those mental constructs that keep us trapped in suffering. It's about revealing the underlying perfection that's already present, even in the most unexpected places.
That reminds me of another key principle. Dowman emphasizes the idea that reality is maya, an illusion.
Yes.
So even our struggles, our pain, those are all part of this magical display.
That's right.
Yeah.
Dzogchen doesn't deny the reality of suffering,
Right.
but it suggests that it's not inherently real in the way we usually think.
Okay.
It's like a dream.
Yeah.
While you're in it, the emotions feel very real, but when you wake up, you realize it was all a projection of your mind.
So Dzogchen is inviting us to wake up from the dream of our ordinary perceptions and see the world with fresh eyes.
Precisely. And that brings us to another key element that might be particularly relevant. Given your interest in Dowman's work, the role of the guru.
It's interesting because you often hear about gurus in spiritual traditions,
Right.
but Dzogchen seems to have a unique perspective on this, right?
It does.
Okay.
The guru in Dzogchen is not about worshiping an authority figure.
Yeah.
It's about finding a guide who can help you remove the veils that are obscuring your own inherent enlightenment. They act as a mirror reflecting your own perfection back to you.
So instead of teaching you new things, they're helping you to see what's already within you.
Exactly.
Okay.
Dowman talks about the guru providing pointing out instruction, which is a direct transmission that bypasses the intellectual mind and goes straight to the heart of your being.
Oh.
It's like they're pointing their finger at the moon being your true nature, and saying, look, it's already there.
And that's where the importance of finding an authentic guru comes in, right?
Yeah.
Someone who genuinely embodies the Dzogchen view.
Absolutely. Dowman is very clear about the potential pitfalls of gurus who get caught up in power dynamics or dogma. He stresses the importance of looking beyond appearances and focusing on the guru's transmission, on how it resonates with your own experience. He even points out that the guru doesn't have to be a physical person. It can be a book, a teaching, even a moment of insight that suddenly awakens you to your true nature.
So the guru is really anything that helps you to see your own inherent perfection.
That's a great way to put it. And that's the beauty of Dzogchen. It's not about relying on external authorities or following a rigid set of rules. It's about discovering the truth that's already within you, the truth that you are already whole, complete, and enlightened.
This is already shifting my whole perspective on spirituality. It's like Dzogchen is saying the answers you seek are already within you.
Exactly. And once you start to see the world through the lens of Dzogchen, everything changes. Your relationship to yourself, to others, to the very nature of reality itself, it all takes on a new dimension.
I'm feeling a sense of excitement. And also a bit of trepidation. Like I'm standing on the edge of a vast unknown. What other insights from Dowman can help us navigate this uncharted territory?
Well, remember how we talked about reality being Maya and illusion? Dowman dives deeper into this by exploring the nature of the mind itself and how it shapes our experience. And that's where things get really mind-bending.
So we're like diving even deeper into how Dzogchen views the nature of mind and reality. It's like we're going beyond the illusion to understand the projector itself,
That's a great way to put it. Now, Dowman emphasizes that the mind's true nature is not the thoughts, emotions, and memories that we usually identify with. It's pure awareness, a boundless space of clarity and luminosity that's free from any inherent qualities.
So it's like the sky, vast, open, and all-encompassing. But if that's the case, how does Dzogchen explain the world that we experience with all its forms, colors, and sensations?
That's where it gets really fascinating. Dzogchen suggests that all these perceived phenomena are actually manifestations of the mind's creative power, arising from its emptiness and luminosity.
So the mind is both empty, free from fixed qualities, and luminous a source of creative energy.
Exactly. Think of it this way. The mind is like a mirror that reflects everything. But it doesn't cling to any of the reflections. The reflections are real in the sense that they appear. But they're also illusory because they lack inherent existence apart from the mirror itself.
So the world we experience is both real and illusory. Depending on how we see it.
Precisely. And the key to liberation, according to Dzogchen, is to recognize the mind's true nature as this empty, luminous awareness, rather than getting caught up in the ever-changing reflections.
So it's about shifting our identification from the contents of our minds to the awareness itself.
You got it. It's like recognizing that you are not the waves on the ocean. You are the ocean itself. And that recognition brings a sense of freedom and spaciousness that's independent of the changing circumstances of our lives.
That's such a powerful metaphor.
It is.
But if language is a product of the mind, how do we even talk about this without getting trapped in concepts?
Dowman acknowledges this challenge. He says language is a tool. And like any tool, it can be used skillfully or clumsily. Dzogchen emphasizes using language to point towards the truth. But not mistaking the finger for the moon.
So words can be helpful signposts, but they can't fully capture the experience of Dzogchen.
Exactly. And that's why Dzogchen also emphasizes direct experience through practices like meditation and contemplation. These practices help us to go beyond the limitations of language and directly experience the nature of mind.
It's like we need to put down the map and actually explore the territory ourselves.
That's a great way to put it. Now, you mentioned earlier that you were feeling a bit of trepidation about this whole vast unknown thing. And that's understandable. Dzogchen challenges a lot of our assumptions about reality, about ourselves, about life and death.
Speaking of death. That's one area where Dzogchen offers a truly unique perspective, It
does.
What's with the whole concept of the bardos?
Yes. the bardos.
Okay.
Dowman points out that we often think of them as just the intermediate states between death and rebirth. But he says we actually experience bardos throughout our lives, in moments of transition, in dream states, even in the fleeting gaps between thoughts.
So bardos are like these mini death and rebirth cycles that are happening all the time.
Exactly. And the bardo that's most relevant to us right now in this life is the bardo of becoming. It's the bardo of our everyday experience, where our thoughts, emotions, and perceptions are constantly arising and dissolving.
But how can understanding this bardo actually help us in our daily lives?
Well, imagine you're caught in a traffic jam. Getting frustrated and impatient. Understanding the bardo of becoming allows you to see those thoughts and emotions as simply temporary phenomena. Arising and passing away like clouds in the sky. Instead of getting swept away by them. You can rest in the awareness that's witnessing them.
So it's about creating space between ourselves and our reactions, seeing them as impermanent rather than solid and fixed.
Precisely. And that space, that awareness, is where freedom lies. It's where we can start to make choices from a place of clarity and wisdom, rather than reacting habitually out of fear or anger.
That makes so much sense. It's like Dzogchen is giving us a set of tools to navigate the ups and downs of life with more skill and grace.
It is. And those tools aren't just about managing our emotions. They can also help us to cultivate deeper qualities like compassion, forgiveness, and even joy.
This is all starting to sound less intimidating and more like a path to actually enjoying life more fully.
It is. And that enjoyment doesn't come from denying the difficult stuff or pretending everything is perfect. It comes from recognizing the inherent perfection that's already present in every experience, even the challenging ones.
So it's about seeing the beauty in the messiness of life.
Exactly. And that beauty isn't something you have to create or strive for. It's already there waiting to be discovered. It's like a hidden treasure that's been buried beneath layers of conditioning and limiting beliefs.
And Dzogchen provides the map to uncover that treasure.
It does. And the journey itself is just as valuable as the destination. It's a journey of self-discovery, of awakening to our true nature. And of realizing the boundless potential that lies within each of us.
This deep dive is already having such a profound impact on my understanding of Dzogchen.
You know, it's not just an intellectual concept. It's a living, breathing path that can transform our entire experience of life.
It is. And that transformation isn't something that happens overnight. It's a gradual unfolding, a process of letting go of old patterns and embracing new ways of being.
Speaking of new ways of being, Dowman mentions some specific practices that Dzogchen utilizes, like the leap over and the breakthrough. They sound intense.
They're definitely practices for more experienced practitioners. And Dowman stresses the importance of working with a qualified teacher. He describes the breakthrough as recognizing the nature of mind within the context of everyday thoughts and emotions. While the leap over focuses on dissolving the illusion of a separate self through advanced visualization and energy work.
So these practices are aimed at directly experiencing the non-dual state that Dzogchen points toward.
You got it. The breakthrough provides a solid foundation.
By helping you recognize the nature of your mind in the midst of your everyday experiences. And the leap over empowers you to fully transcend the limitations of dualistic thinking. They work together like leaping over a chasm. You need a firm place to jump from and a clear vision of where you're headed.
That's a great analogy.
It is.
It sounds like a powerful combination. But what are some of the results these practices can lead to? And how do they ultimately contribute to the realization of the Dzogchen view?
Dowman suggests that they can lead to profound shifts in awareness.
Okay.
Anything from a glimpse of the clear light of pure awareness to full realization of the rainbow body.
The rainbow body is definitely intriguing.
It is.
What does Dowman say about its significance in Dzogchen?
The rainbow body, as he describes it, is a state of complete liberation where the physical body dissolves into light. It's a powerful symbol of the ultimate goal of Dzogchen. Complete freedom from suffering and the limitations of our conditioned minds.
Right.
It's important to remember, though, that Dzogchen isn't just about achieving some far-off mystical state.
Okay.
It's about realizing the inherent perfection that's already present in every moment.
So it's about embracing the journey, not just chasing after some future goal.
Exactly. And that journey is filled with both challenges and opportunities.
Yeah.
It's about working with our obstacles, confronting our fears and attachments, and developing unwavering confidence in the Dzogchen view.
So it's about facing reality head-on with all its beauty and messiness.
It is.
And finding liberation in the midst of it all.
Precisely. And that's the true power of Dzogchen.
Yeah.
It's not about escaping from the world, but about embracing it fully with all its paradoxes and complexities and discovering the inherent perfection that lies at its heart.
I'm feeling so inspired by this. It's like Dzogchen is offering us a roadmap.
It is.
To a more joyful, meaningful, and liberated way of being.
It is. And remember, the map is just a guide. The real journey happens within.
Okay.
As we awaken to the truth of our own nature and discover the boundless potential that lies within each of us.
This is really giving me a lot to think about.
Yeah.
Are there any other key points from Dowman's writings that we should touch on before we wrap up this deep dive?
Yeah.
Feels like we've covered so much ground already.
We have.
But I'm also curious about how all of this translates into daily life. Dowman seems to emphasize that Dzogchen is not just a philosophy or a set of mystical practices, but like a way of life.
Absolutely. He talks about embodying the Dzogchen view, not just intellectually, but also in our actions, our relationships, and our interactions with the world around us.
So how do we actually do that?
Right.
How do we take these profound insights about the nature of mind and reality and apply them to our everyday lives?
Well, it's not about trying to force ourselves to be different or to live up to some idealized image of enlightenment. It's about bringing a quality of awareness and presence to everything we do. From the most mundane tasks to the most challenging interactions.
So it's about approaching life with a sense of openness, curiosity, and non-judgmental awareness.
Exactly. It's about seeing every moment as an opportunity for awakening. Every experience as a teacher. Remember those excerpts you shared?
Yeah.
There's a good chance those passages resonated with you because they touched upon something you're already sensing, a yearning for that kind of presence and awareness in your own life.
That's a great point. And it brings to mind something else Damon mentions.
What's that?
The importance of non-action.
Oh, yeah.
How does that principle play out in daily life?
It's fascinating how often this concept comes up in Dzogchen. Non-action doesn't mean being passive or inactive. It's about letting go of striving, of trying to control or manipulate outcomes, and allowing things to unfold naturally, in accordance with the wisdom of the present moment.
So it's about trusting the process, surrendering to the flow of life.
Precisely. Dowman takes it even further, though. He suggests that this surrender doesn't mean giving up on our responsibilities or abandoning our values. It's about acting from a place of inner alignment, where our actions are guided by a deep sense of purpose and connection to something greater than ourselves.
It sounds like a delicate balance.
It is.
Being fully present in the moment.
Yeah.
While also being guided by a deeper wisdom and sense of purpose.
It is a delicate balance.
Yeah.
And it's one that we're constantly refining as we deepen our understanding and practice of Dzogchen.
This deep dive is really helping me to understand how Dzogchen can be both a transformative spiritual path and a practical guide for living a more meaningful and fulfilling life.
Absolutely.
It's like we've been given a whole new set of tools
to
navigate the complexities of our modern world.
It is. And those tools are incredibly valuable in today's world, where we're constantly bombarded with information, stimulation, and demands on our attention. Dzogchen offers a way to find peace and freedom, not by escaping from the world, but by embracing it fully with all its beauty, complexity, and paradoxes.
It's like we've been given a new pair of glasses. A new way of seeing the world that reveals its hidden depths and its inherent perfection.
It is.
I'm feeling a sense of awe and inspiration as we explore these ideas together.
That sense of awe and inspiration is a sign that you're connecting with the heart of Dzogchen. It's about remembering who you truly are pure awareness, boundless potential, inherent perfection.
Yeah.
And that realization has the power to transform not just your own life, but also the world around you.
This deep dive has been a truly mind-opening experience.
It has.
Before we wrap up, is there one final takeaway?
Sure.
One provocative thought that you'd like to leave our listener with?
If everything is already perfect, as the Dzogchen suggests, what would it look like to live your life from that understanding? How would your relationships, your work, your interactions with the world be different? If you approach them from a place of inherent perfection rather than a place of striving or lack?
That's a powerful question to ponder. It really encapsulates the essence of Dzogchen and the transformative potential it holds.
It does.
Thank you for guiding us on this incredible journey into the heart of the great perfection.
The pleasure was all mine.
I'm so glad we could do this deep dive together.
Me too. Until next time.